Hey everybody, and welcome to the Daily Scope for the 28th of January. So today we've got Mercury making a parallel to Pluto. Mercury is also making a square to the Moon's North Node. Venus also makes a sextile to Saturn. Mars also makes a square to the Moon's North Node. And Mercury also makes a trine to Uranus. So Mercury's parallel to Pluto gives us the ability to deeply analyse and investigate matters. So this can be situations that you've been looking into finding a solution for a while, or new things that come up over the next week or so. It allows us to intensely use our mental focus skills, and it also empowers us with persuasive communication and listening sort of like skills. Negatively, it can make us overly jealous, obsessive and suspicious in our thinking and behaviours, and it can lead to power struggles in communication. So the best use of this energy is to use it to dig deep into anything that we need to get to the bottom of, to investigate, to research. So it's good for all sorts of data research, journalism, because we can use these increased analytical abilities we're being given a chance to tap into to uncover hidden truths. And it's also great to use for therapy or deep introspection, self-reflection work, so asking yourself questions, journaling, healing yourself spiritually, as it can help us get to the bottom and to the depths of our psyche. It helps us uncover buried emotions and transform our thoughts. So it invites us to embrace the power of truth and communication in our spiritual journeys. Mercury square to the Moon's North Node can bring a sort of increased intuition to us, and also emotional intelligence that enables us to understand others on a deeper level, because it can make us more empathetic in our communication. But negatively, Mercury square to the Moon's North Node can make it sort of stuck between a rock and a hard place, between our heart desires and a logical kind of choice, which can cause tension in intimate relationships, as we can struggle to integrate our feelings and our rationalizations right now as well. So the best use of this energy is to explore the deeper meaning behind your feelings right now and your thoughts, and try and find a balance between your intuitive thinking and instincts, and to integrate your emotions with your logic as well. It gives us the opportunity to do that on the spiritual level, learning to see our emotions as a tool for our personal growth and awareness and love rather than a weakness. Venus's trine to Saturn helps us to stay committed, and it brings more loyalty and trust and stability to our relationships as well. So it's good for repairing arguments and overcoming them, but we have to watch out for being too emotionally cold once again, and inflexible and conservative in our approach as well, becoming overly focused on the practical and the logical, and neglecting the affection and the needs of our partners or friends or family as well. So yeah, we must set our own boundaries and all of that, but also try and make sure that we're meeting others' needs as well, especially if we've made a commitment to them. So it's a good energy to make long-term plans with our partners and friends and ourselves, and create solid foundations for our personal relationship growth. Spiritually, it reminds us that to achieve in life or to make relationships work, we need to be dedicated and committed to get to the bottom of our own individual values and beliefs, and what we see as a divine connection, and whether we call this presence God or the higher power, what is it to us, and how can it help us practically improve our lives as well. So we can use this energy to deepen our connection to the spiritual and ask and seek guidance from the higher realms. But no, we must do this in a grounded way, and always be aware that just as we got good and bad advice from living people. We can get that from the spiritual realms as well. So this is why we need to build our discernment and judgment and self-awareness as well, and use our free will, but in a positive way, in a way that constructs us and makes us feel happy, rather than in a way that, you know, destructs us, you know. So Mars is square to the Moon's North Node also encourages us to take assertion and be assertive in our action and words, especially when it comes to meeting our targets and overcoming obstacles and stepping outside of our comfort zone. This energy pushes us to confront our challenges. Negatively, we can find it hard to balance our assertiveness with emotional sensitivity, and a lot of aspects can make us cold today, so we must triply keep this in mind to just try and be more affectionate, or just explain to people why we may be feeling cold and need time on our own, rather than being impatient and impulsive and just neglecting them without letting them know. At least the best use of this energy is that it allows us to be productive and make great progress on our goals, overcoming obstacles, taking those calculated risks, and just really getting us to build our self-awareness and our emotional intelligence as well. And Mercury is trying to Uranus supports us in thinking outside of the box, and it can make us more curious, and the need for more intellectual stimulation and learning new skills, and also helps us to engage in stimulating and meaningful conversation. So again, good to work through all those, you know, emotional and relationship problems that can come up. But negatively, all this Uranus energy can make it hard for us to find a balance between, you know, breaking free from routine and meeting our commitments and being accountable. So just watch out for that. Again, the only way to counteract that is just to speak truth and try and be grounded and be open to expanding your knowledge and deepening your communication skills as well. So content creators can talk about how we can work on our personal growth, how we can make our relationships more healthier, how we can communicate more effectively, giving us tips and strategies on how to do that, how we can navigate relationships difficulties, especially those periods in our relationships, especially intimate ones, where we may want to leave, or it just becomes a bit boring, you know, and we don't really want to leave, but it's become boring. So how can we put spice and energy back into our existing relationships as well? How we can become more self-expressive and not afraid to be ourselves and be our authentic self, and how we can deal with the rejection and the difficulties that often come with, you know, being ourselves, because people are used to us being one way, and then when we change, people cannot like change. So how do we navigate that? How do we accept ourselves when other people reject us? So all kind of tips and strategies on love and relationships and taking responsibility, especially for our own growth, and how we can be more adventurous with date nights and bring more passion and drive into our long-term goals and relationships as well. And you can just talk about how we can be more innovative, creative, embrace thinking outside of the box and being non-conformist in our attitudes, as well as how we can create space for more creativity and inspiration in our life and relationships. So yeah, that was the daily scopes for the 28th of January.